Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Inside Career Technical Education. It's so great to have you today. We've got a great story for you. I'm Ann Baldwin, and
I'm Jim Beloga, President and CEO of Porter Chester Institute and YTI Career Institute.
That's right. And YTI Career Institute, we've got a great story coming out of there. Many stories come out of there, but I want to first introduce one of your graduates who fortunately graduated just before COVID. But Tracy Wilson is with us. Tracy, you graduated from YTI Career Institute when?
Yes, ma'am. I did in April of 2020.
So Tracy is a graduate of the YTI Electronics Engineering Technology program at YTI. And Tracy, it's so great to have you. And I want a drum roll, please, Jim. Drum roll. Guess where Tracy works? Tracy, tell us where you are. Where are you joining us from right now?
So I'm actually joining you from Southern Maryland, specifically Patuxent River. There's a naval base down here, and I work for Boeing.
Boeing. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
And Tracy's story is so cool. And Tracy's given us permission to talk about this. So Tracy, let's start with you're sitting on the couch, you're getting a divorce, ... Let's go. Tell us the good stuff.
Yeah. So I like to call that chapter of my life, what the heck were you thinking? So, yeah, I was in a bad relationship, and I was mostly stuck in it because of finances. And I was afraid of, oh my word, where are me and my boys going to go? My boys and my mother would probably rather I use proper English. So, yeah, finances were a huge reason why I stayed as long as I did. And I was, yeah, exactly what you said, sitting on the couch, feeling sorry for myself.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, yeah, a commercial came on for YTI, which was kind of weird because it was after 8 o'clock, and normally that's like a daytime type thing. So it was a little shocking to see the commercial anyway, and I was like, huh. And it immediately had my attention, and it was for the electrician program. And I was like, wow, in 9 months, I could be headed somewhere,
Yeah.
Right.
Anywhere but where I was at that moment was where I wanted to be. So I had been cleaning houses, which wasn't bad. It was putting food on the table, mostly paying the bills. Ends were not quite meeting. And of course, it's highly physical. So, as I'm thinking of things later in life, like retirement and doing all that fun stuff, I'm like, man, it sure be nice to have all my joints operating by the time I have time to do all this fun stuff. So I decided that super hard physical labor is probably not the right avenue. And I said, God forbid I get hurt. I'm kind of stuck. I won't be able to work and there's no backup.
So what did you do then? You reached out to the campus and then tell us.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately went on. I picked my phone up and I filled out all my information and everything on the school website. And someone from the school called me the next day, and I set up an appointment to visit the school 2 days later, which was a Friday. And Angie Jones ended up taking me on a tour of the electrician department. But it wasn't quite hitting me the way I thought it would. I'm like, something's kind of off, but I didn't say anything. So apparently this was all written on my face. So she looks at me and she goes, you're not feeling this, are you? And I'm like, you read my mind. And she goes, you know what? Follow me. She said, I think you're going to like this. And she brought me into the electrical engineering technology classroom. And I saw the lights and the wires and the switches on the one wall, and my face totally lit up, pun intended. And I was like, this is it.
You're in.
Yep. I said, this is what I want to learn. Let's go. I ended up signing up for classes that day. I distinctly remember trying to figure out the logistics of working while going to school full time and raising the boys and everything. And of course, I think there was a small application fee, but small is relative depending on where you are in life. And I forget whatever the application fee was. I just remember I had about $10 left in my checking account, and that had to last me the next 3 days. So I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm spending the money, and I decided this type of thing has to be a conscious decision. I said, I'm not taking government handouts. they're not for me to permanently live on, and my boys and I were not going to become a statistic. And so that's pretty much it. And that I said I was going to learn the trade that was going to get me to financial independence.
She's working on fighter jets at Boeing, which is amazing.
Well, I was just going to say she should tell our viewers actually what is her position and what is she actually working on.
Yeah, what are you doing over there, Tracy?
Yeah, what are you doing at Boeing?
All kinds of fun stuff. This is way cool. So I'm in the flight test program, and I do work on the F-18. So we instrument these jets to run different tests. Excuse me. So when the pilots take off, they have certain test points that they need to hit. So whether it's a certain speed at a certain angle, there's a whole bunch of different things that they are testing up in the air. So we need to instrument the jet to be able to gather data.
You know, Tracy, we found you through one of your instructors at YTI, Tom Farrell, who you're one of his many success stories. And you've maintained a relationship with him, who was one of your instructors, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my word. Hands down, Tom was my favorite. He is the best. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, it sounds lame to say he was the best, but the man loves his job. He really does. The foundation that he laid for us was, how do I put this into words? It was perfect, really.
I know there's also something really special that helped you pay for your experience with us, your educational experience with us. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about who was able to help you and what organization was able to help you afford to pay for school?
Absolutely, yes. I actually found out through student services that, and a friend of mine, that Mike Rowe has his scholarship program. Of course, I'm a huge Dirty Jobs fan, like most of us.
Me too.
Yeah, we all are.
Feels awesome, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I love Mike Rowe. And my thought was, a friend of mine had said something to me. She's like, dude, you totally have to do this. I'm like, okay. If I don't do it, it's an automatic no. If I fill out the application and send everything in and I still don't win, it's, at least I did it and I gave it a shot. So I did. It took me 3 solid weeks to fill out that application.
Wow.
There's a lot to it. There's an essay, there's a video, you've got to get references and things like that. And you actually, in true Mike Rowe fashion, you have to put the work in. So I did.
And if you haven't gone to that website, Mike Rowe is amazing and such a huge supporter of the skilled trades. It's MikeRoweWorks.org. Great information, and it's great that the folks at YTI, pointed you in that direction.
Tracy, I'm just going to applaud you for doing the work, putting the work in, doing the work, and sort of taking yourself out of that, not a chance box to maybe there is a chance. And
and taking the chance,
and it's great. And I hope our viewers, understand that there are folks out there, in our country who are trying to support, these vocations, in and around skilled trades. We need employers call me every day looking for folks in all areas of our educational programs.
So give us a bit of advice. Again, Tracy Wilson, YTI graduate. If you could give us a piece of advice for anybody who's watching this to wrap things up, what would it be?
Wow. Let's see if I can unpack that real quick. I would say your success depends on you. You have to do it. Nobody's going to hand you anything. You have got to work for it. And my view of that was, I have a goal. I need to land this job. I want to be financially independent and show my kids what success looks like. But
well, I can tell you this right now, Tracy, if they're anything like their mother, they will. And I just love your attitude. It's one of those things. It works if you work it. So Tracy Wilson, thanks for taking time out of your busy day over there at Boeing. We also want to encourage people, if they want more information on this program, again, we're talking about electronics engineering technology program at YTI or any of the programs that are offered, please go to the website. Great information, and you can start the process there. yti.edu. So again, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Inside Career Technical Education. This has been fun. So on behalf of myself, Ann Baldwin,
and Jim Beloga,
thanks again, and go to yti.edu.